Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of my template. I call it Project X. I don't know why, just for some apparent reason, but the second portion of this template, the first template I kind of went through it in about 20-25 minutes and kind of produced the shape and what the space is going to look like. Part 2 I kind of redefined some of the elements, like I added a door into the curtain wall, I added the HVAC equipment, plumbing fixtures. I didn't do the plumbing piping. I didn't do any of that yet, but I did the HVAC ductwork. I didn't put the HVAC grills in, and it didn't go that far, but some furniture in and kind of clean up the model a little bit. So all this modeling, it took me roughly about 6 to 8 hours to kind of put everything in and get everything situated the way I wanted it. So in the model, I placed a few section cuts in here to kind of display what's happening inside the building. And then I'll show the ceiling plan next, which will show some of the lighting and how I configured the lighting and the lighting calculations and so forth. So first I'll go to the section cut, one in the middle. Most of this information is right out of the box. It's a lot of it's 3D modeled. And it shows like the information, as soon as you cut the section, so it kind of gives you an idea what's happening, right from the kickoff meeting. I even have some of the front panels inside of the building, in which all this data can be extracted out into charts and used for construction purposes. Again, there's the solar panels that's on the rooftop, to where I can try to calculate how much solar energy the building is going to collect. I have some rough joists in the building, along with the light fixtures and the curtain wall door and a security camera, at the outside, at the parking lot maybe. But there's that detail and a lot of the information right there in the model with the furring channels and security camera, steel angles, the door, and etc. And one thing that's neat about Revit is that once you go into here and all your information is present, yes, it becomes very easy to Keynote. Previously didn't save, I guess. Information can be Keynote, from the door to the frame and etc. Even if you can get a Keynote. So it makes it, fairly easy to kind of get your data together and start to design the building at hand and coordinating everything with your engineers and your subs. And I'll swing to the other side of the building, which is a little different. Even the interior doors, have their detailing, right out of the box. Place a channel there or a stud. Even go down to the threshold. I'm not going to clean a lot of that information. It's just a carpet running straight through. That's an easy cleanup, but a lot of that information is controlled within the model itself. Over to the other side to the door, that door header. Of course, I didn't put the flashing in. And to cut other sections, you can look at other parts of the model. And this is just strictly the curtain wall detail. And every time I cut a different wall section, that parapet detail shows up. I don't have to redraw it again. And then again, I could do the same thing here with the keynoting. And tag every item. And all this information is referred back to my spec. And I'll just show these last two section cuts real quick before I go over to the ceiling, and then I'll end this. And then again, there's our pit detail. It doesn't have to be redrawn. The casework is in there. And then some of these products come from the manufacturer, which means it's modeled to a spec. Some of these items, you can get down to the nitty-gritty and how they fit, without using 2D, which isn't always true, especially with class detection. I wouldn't say it would guarantee, but it would give you some insight into whether or not the product will work or not, to the design specification. And there's that HVAC unit, the heat pump with the dehumidification, or whatever they call it, which pushes out hot water, which could run to the plumbing, which is in the adjacent room over there. And then to the ceiling plan, which shows the same section cuts. And here I have my light fixtures, pretty spaced out to kind of how I want them to look. Bathroom, the HVAC room has a fixture. The office has one fixture, and which I know I'm going to have to place additional fixtures in that room there. One light fixture will not be enough. But getting down to the calculation part of this, in order to calculate your energy efficiently, the lights have to be correct, per foot candle, per space. So here, with this chart, and I'll do a tile here to show both simultaneously. And you can see that the office space, which is set at 50 foot candles, is only receiving 15, and that's based on the one light fixture. The top one, which is mechanical and electrical, which is 20 foot candles, and it's looking at 32 foot candles, it's too hot. And you notice I only have one fixture in there. Now I could do a few things. I could bump down to just one lamp versus two. I can try to raise the light fixture, see if that would correct it. Or I could change the wall surface material or reflectance, whatever the paint is, or if it's CMU or whatnot. I can specify what that value is, which can control that foot candle level. So I can try to get down to what I need without maybe even swapping out the fixture or going with a different bulb. So that's available now for you. And for the other room, I could even place different light fixtures in the room, and this number will change based on the light fixture. The light fixture could be a Phillips, so and so, so and so. And with Philips, most of their information is built into the model, so it's pretty much, as soon as I drop it in here, this thing is pretty much correct. Now I could double check the cut sheets and everything and make sure that it's correct, but you can tell that number definitely went up. I'll place another light fixture here. So once I get the correct number of light fixtures in here, I can go ahead and space it the way I want it to be spaced. So that's getting more into the nuts and bolts of Rivet and BIM, because once my light fixture starts to become correct, I can go back to my lighting calculations and say, all right, well, based on my chart and my calculations, that's correct. This is what the kilowatts per room is showing me, and then I calculate it. Calculate it to how much it'll cost per utility cost per your local energy provider, based on hours of use. And with facility management, these numbers can be tracked by those guys, and then they can input that number to the system, and it'll spit out the data that you need. So I hope you enjoyed the second part of the template. Look for a new one soon. We'll try to post these regularly. So you can kind of get an insight of what BIM and Rivet can do for the AE profession.